Hey guys, welcome back. I wanted to share with you the top ChatGPT tips, tricks, and processes that we use to scale our efficiency to the absolute maximum. And let's just jump straight in. First of all, number one, I copy pasted these star icons. You can also use emojis or whatever you want for the chats that you use every single day or every single week. For example, if you're working on websites and you have a chat history about a blog page to fact check or to proofread or to improve in any way, then if you keep looking for that one, put a little star or emoji on it. You can edit any sections by just going on it and then clicking on that little pen icon here to edit the name, and you can add pretty much anything you want on it. If you want to color code it or anything yourself, I'm sure ChatGPT will fix that soon, but for now I found that pretty useful. Next one, creating tables in ChatGPT. So for example, if we paste here an article about the effect on branding in AI and just let it do whatever it wants, because we didn't give any instructions towards it, you can simply say, summarize this article for me in a table format. And there you have it. You can see that if you give the instructions of what kind of columns you would like to break this down in, these table layouts are personally, for me, I'm a visual learner, much easier to understand. The next one is called analyzing content, to make sure that my new chat starts on the same page in terms of knowledge base that I have for a certain topic. So there are two ways of doing that. Number one, if you are a ChatGPT Plus subscriber, you go to ChatGPT, go to ChatGPT 4, go to Code Interpreter, click Upload File, and convert any kind of file that you have, for example, from your website. And this is an Excel sheet that I just copy pasted all of our pages from our website inside, and say something like create, analyze this content from our website Yoka, and based on our information and our goals, create a content plan for our LinkedIn. It now stated that it's ready to create me my LinkedIn content calendar for our company Yoka. So we have, right, so together with custom instructions, together with trying to convert first your entire website into some kind of text document, an Excel sheet or something like that, it takes like maximum a few minutes, and pre-feeding that into your chat history, so you can then start with ChatGPT on the same level where you are, where because you know everything about your own company, about your own project or whatever you're working on, and you make sure that the data that ChatGPT uses to produce your future results and outcomes will be based on that information. And then, as promised, the way you do that if you are on 3.5 is to say, okay, if you do this, you have the chance to feed ChatGPT over and over again certain information pieces about yourself, to then do the same thing that we just did before, to start your main task afterwards. And the information will be much more personalized. And just to demo this, I'm just going to do industry professional, and let's just use the same example so we can compare it. So act as a content marketer and digital social media expert, and let's just hit one time enter. And sometimes it does weird stuff, especially because I'm also having my custom instructions turned on, so it's messing around with those pre-feeded information as well. But if I were to go now and say, okay, I have my positioning statement, right, I go back and say, okay, I just keep feeding it in here, even though it's replying, which ideally it shouldn't, because it's should just be replying with okay. You have now a chat that is called content and social media, and from now on you can say, okay, give the keyword and say start now. I gave an idea of the idea that I'm trying to explore today, to get ChatGPT as my virtual assistant, as my social media expert, to help me brainstorm a few things. And then because I feed it, I inform ChatGPT about our goals as the company, about who we are, our positioning statement, who are our customers, which is our name, etc., etc. We have a few dozen here from language barriers to artistic AI assistant. And we're not discussing the quality of the output right now, but you can see that if you're using the free model of 3.5, you can take this slightly more effortful, whatever the opposite of effortless is, approach, and have this like, hey, just reply with okay until I specifically say start now action. And even though it does replay with a few more things than okay, it understands and keeps connecting the dots between your prompts and between your messages, so you can then move on and start your main prompt and your main task. I want to tell you about our favorite plugin. So this feature goes for all pro users only, plus users only. If you go to plugin, right, you can enable it in beta features, and you go through all your plugins here. This YouTube summaries one is one of my favorites, and it goes as if you listen to a podcast or you hear a certain news article about something, or it's basically someone that you respect or that you want to learn from has a piece of video content on YouTube, you can use this link reader to basically summarize that content for you, package it up, convert it into tables, create your own coaching plan, or let ChatGPT, present you the highlights from it. And especially the longer form videos, I'm trying to watch them myself when I'm doing something else and trying to absorb the information subconsciously. But sometimes there are some things that I would like to know right now, but I don't want to watch a 45-minute podcast because sometimes we simply don't have the time. So if you go to any content out there, so let's just see what's on my YouTube right now. So okay, so here's something from MIT for over 1 hour about deep learning, and I'm definitely not going to watch this right now because it's late. And summarize the highlights for me, and you press enter, and just like that, this YouTube summary plugin will tell me that I reached my limit. Internet today is really giving it to me. All right. So basically, it will work exactly like the Chrome extension that you can install to your Chrome browser. And just for the sake of telling you about it, because it does help me quite a lot and I'm using it, even though I crossed my limits today trying to showcase this, you can get a summary that looks somewhat like this straight into ChatGPT, and then you basically can do whatever you like from it. For example, if you're researching for a presentation with your client about a topic and there is a specific part of that presentation that you're not very experienced about, you can watch a video. After you watch the video, let it summarize the highlights for you and then convert those highlights into presentation slides, which then you can use as talking points in your client presentation or whatever you're trying to do. All these kind of like cutting corners and making sure that you always stay on top of things and getting the power of information control, consumption, and basically summarization all at your fingertips, and combining that all with ChatGPT. All right. Thank you, YouTube summary plugin, for failing me today. And I think the last one I would like to talk about is, again, one of for the plus users. And that is if you work extensively with ChatGPT and you run into the chat to the caps of messages, which has been bumped up twice last week, one time to 40 and now to 50 apparently. If even this is too little for you and you keep hitting that ceiling of message caps, then my trick for you is that you go to ChatGPT Code Interpreter instead. And if you have multiple files, all you do is simply write all these separate files into Word documents, save them as docs or docs with the Google Docs version, combine them all in one zip file, upload the entire zip file here with a plus sign, and then using that as a foundation to continue what you're trying to do. That way you can upload, I think, up to 20 documents all at the same time and have them analyze piece by piece or chat with them piece by piece, take them apart, summarize them, highlight them, whatever you're trying to do, and take it from there. Guys, that was a slightly more longer and with a few obstacle infused version of the tricks that we use inside ChatGPT. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know if you like this kind of content, and we'll let you know more about the other tools that we use, and let me know which tools you would like to hear more about. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay efficient.